Hello everyone, I am Sagar Sharma, currently pursuing third year BCom at MES Institute of Management, and I am here to give you a presentation on ZERODHA and NISHKAMA Karma, growth without greed. So coming to our topic, let's know about ZERODHA. ZERODHA is India's largest stockbroker company, founded by Nikhil and Nikit Kamath in 2010. It is known for its transparent payments, customer-centric model, and technology-driven approach. So coming to the core nature and characteristics of Zerodha. First, it was customer-centric approach, which means in 2010, Zerodha started their transactions and their company only for sake of customers. It was a time where all the investors were charged high rate of commission on every transaction they made, and this was possible by only because of the technological-driven operations, which means Zerodha started their business by providing online application to the investors. And not only that, they also provided a platform for financial literacy of every investors, known as Varsity. It was a platform where every investors were trained and knowledgeable over the stock market. Also, it is a bootstrapped, self-sustained growth, which means bootstrap means the company Zerodha started with no venture capital and no borrowings. It was started by their own money of the founders Nikhil and Nikit Kamath. Moving to the next part of our topic, Nishkama Karma. It's an Indian philosophy topic or a concept, which means Nish means without, Kama means desire or attachment, Karma means action or duty, which purely means that Nishkama Karma, a person who works for its goal or objective, should never be attached to its fruits or rewards of the action. And coming to its reference, in Bhagavad Gita, we have its primary reference in chapter 2, verse 47, which goes like, कर्माणि कार्तिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्माले फरहेतु भुर te sankostav karmani, which means that you have the right to perform your duty, but never to the fruits of action. Do not be motivated by the results of your action, and do not be attached to inaction. And the same reference we have in Swami Vivekananda's reference, where when he said that work for work's sake, do good because it's good to do, and not for name or fame's sake, which he truly meant that do your work in discipline, dedication, not for the sake of reward or any greed of personal growth. And next, if you go through in this topic more, the concept of Nishkama Karma has an ancient wisdom with modern thought of Swami Vivekananda's, and the physical example of business is Zerodha, where the concept of Nishkama Karma was brought alive by Swami Vivekananda's thought and now is practiced by Zerodha's business practices. Knowing more about Nishkama Karma, we can connect that topic to our Zerodha by saying that Gita, perform duty without attachment to results. Vivekananda ji said that work for work's sake, and that's what our Zerodha's company does. Zerodha works for not for any greed, not profit making company. It is a customer centric approach which purely works for customer's sake and focuses on literacy of every investors. Moving forward in this, we can explain more that ethics over outcome. Gita says that act according to dharma. Vivekananda ji says do good because it's right, and that's what our Zerodha follows. It is having a pure formation of transparent pricing, where it doesn't charge any kind of high commissions or any hidden charges for the customers. It is a pure company which follows us honest business practices. Long-term vision. Gita says that results come naturally from right action. Vivekananda ji says that selfless works brings true success, and that's what our Zerodhas follows. It is slow, sustainable, and organic growth. Zerodha didn't charge or didn't waste their own funds on aggressive marketing. They didn't waste their money on forming the templates or any kind of offline promotions or online promotions. The company of Zerodha got famous from people, that is mouth to mouth of promotion. And moving next in depth, detachments from greed, where Gita says that don't be motivated by fruits, and Vivekananda says that avoid ego and reward seeking, and that's what our Zerodhas follows, where don't have any VC funding and no obsession for the valuation, which means they don't have any loans or any borrowings from others. They are independent and free of their actions, which makes them to take right decisions for right people, and that's how they become customer-centric approach. This was all about how Nishkama Karma is connected to Bhagavad Gita, Swami Vivekanandaji's thought, and Zerodha. Now, in depth, let's see that how Zerodha grew, how it became top one of Indian stock brokerage company in India. Going to next, it saw the first more advantage in discount broking in 2010, where the discount brokers are charged an high rate of commissions for the all investors. Zero saw has its opportunity, and they started to provide their services in very less number of commission and no brokerage, no hidden charges at all. Moving front, technological first approach. This Zerodha started its main concept and main services by providing it in online mode. Online mode in 2010, yes, it was very risky, but though it was risky, they did it. And the main platform they provided is Kite. It was a fast trading platform where investors could trade in single day in D1 trading and coin where they could directly invest in mutual funds without any intermediaries. And Varsity, as I mentioned in the previous slides, that is a free education platform where every investors were trained and knowledge about the stock market and how it works. Also Console, an analytical tool which was used by the investors to know how the market is running and how it is running in every transactions they made. Bootstrap growth, as I mentioned in the previous slides, that they didn't had any pressure. They didn't have no investor pressure, which means that they were free of their actions, and which makes them to take right decisions for the right people. They were customer centric approach, as I mentioned in the previous slides. Moving friend, focus on financial education. Through Varsity, Zerodha focused on how they could learn and how they could teach the investors. It was mainly focused on how investors could learn about the stock market and how more they could trade. Because stock market is an open field of money where individuals should be knowledge about it. And as we can see that from 2010 to now 2026, stock market has been a very boom and it's a very mandatory thing to learn. And that's what Zerodha started by launching its platform Varsity. And how it market about this Zerodha? It was mouth of mouth marketing. Zerodha didn't charge any or didn't waste their funds on any marketing. The marketing of Zerodha was done from people to the people, which means mouth to mouth and mouth to mouth marketing, and which means it had very organic growth. Moving friend, this was the revenue of the Zerodha from 2010 to 2023-24. As you can see here, this is the revenue part of the Zerodhas from 2010 to 2023-24 financial year, which has come up to the 500 crores of revenue to approximately 8,500 of crores revenue. So as I made you go through how Nishkama Karma is connected to Bhagavad Gita, Swami Vivekananda and Zerodha, and also how Zerodha became top one in India. Now the interesting topic of Nishkama Karma, let's continue to this generation. As it is a very interesting topic in our presentation, I would like to connect it to this youth. Greed for intense success. Today's young people have to make quick money, quick success, and quick assets. And this is not how today's generation work. This is not how the true reality of society works. And this can be solved by the only one thing is Nishkama Karma approach, where they should be focused and believe the process, then the outcome. They should focus and put their energy in hard working the entire process so that the result which comes out is good without being attached to the result and fruits of their actions. Moving next, lack of discipline and inconsistent effort. Today's young people lose their focus very quickly. One notification in the phone and their focus is completely diverted from the main objective. And the solution for this is tapasya, which means disciplined effort. The today's generation should invest their long-term dedication and discipline. And that's how Zerodha worked. Zerodha took 10 plus years of patience and ethical work to grow till now. From 2010 to 2026, it took almost 16 years for Zerodha to grow to position it is now. So that's what the youth should take the lessons to their life in this generation. Moving next, the today's youth is distracted by social media and peer pressure. The social media creates a very hard and difficult pressure on the generation, which becomes very difficult to move on or to be escaped from. But that's not the way the today's generation should deal with, and this can be solved with the control of senses, where the Sanskrit word comes in pratyahara, where it means that learn to control attention and focus on meaningful work. And that's what our Zerodha again did. It did not hype it itself. It didn't market itself. All the energy of Zerodha was extremely focused on itself and how the services can be provided to customers. And that's what today's youth generation should do. They should focus all their energies in the process and rather than the outcome. Negative, the fear of failure. The negativity of fear of failure in today's young mind is felt too much because of the social medias and the peer pressure created by their relatives, friends, or any institutions. So the solution for that comes at action without attachment. That today's generation attached to things very easily, but they should work in every kinds of or any modes of action without being attached to it. If anything fails, they shouldn't be demotivated from them. Instead, they should take the result and lessons from their actions. And this is how the Zerodhas, and this is what the Gita's 2.47 teaches for you, where they tell that do your duty, not worry about the results. And Zerodha did the same thing, where they learn from small mistakes, learned and grow steadily. So, and this is what the youth generation should occupy or full should focus in their life itself. Attraction on material success. Today's generations have understood the meaning of the word success is having a big car, big house, and big aeroplane. But that's not how today's generation should have the mindset of. Their solution must be the purpose over profit. That's how Zerodha worked. Zerodha's main focus was to reduce the commissions, reduce the burden of every investors in all across the India, and reduce and make sure that their services provided to all over the citizen all over the world in online mode. And that's how Zerodhas took the concept of Nishkama Karma plus Tapasya and emphasized it in their own personal business practices and growth personally from 2010 to 2026 now. And that's how the Zerodhas and how Nishkama Karma and Tapasya and such historical concepts can be connected to today's generation. And I would like to conclude it with a final thought again with the verse of Bhagavad Gita, where it comes to again you have the right to perform your duty but never to the fruits of action. Do not be motivated with the results of your actions and do not be attached to the inactions. This is what today's generation must include and must learn in their life importantly, because today's competition has a very peer pressure and created a very hard environment around the today's generations. And if they take the detachment from their greed and detachment from the results, they will surely succeed in their life. Moving forward, I can tell clearly that the philosophy of Gita, the Nishkama Karma, which concluded the sloka has action without greed, came to a practice by Swami Vivekananda's thought, who lived the idea, who lived the generation, the youth of generation, really believe that the today's generation can make the change. Swami Vivekananda this, and finally Zerodha, who brought the philosophy of Nishkama Karma alive and today made it as a proof and finally became number one. So this was all about our presentation from MES Institute of Management. I'm Sagar Sharma, and it's a request for all the young minds of India to implement the term Nishkama Karma in their personal life and grow just like Zerodha does. Thank you.